Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in to Yeezy TV. Once again, if it's your first time here, I appreciate you checking out the channel and possibly considering subscribing. It's absolutely free. And for everyone, if you could just smash the thumbs up button, that would be greatly appreciated. As you guys probably know by now, it goes a long way for the creators. So if you guys just take a half a second to do that, again, it would be greatly appreciated. But today, as you can tell by the title, we have a review and on feet of the Yeezy 350 in the natural colorway. This came out a few weeks ago at the time of recording, or a couple weeks ago, but not super recent, but just a little bit ago. And I don't know why I never got around to making a video of these, and I just realized I hadn't, so I thought I'd put one out for you guys. I'm sure by now there's a bunch of videos out there, but I'm just gonna give my quick review as well as on feet, and of course sizing as usual. Quick little backstory on these. So I basically bought these for my own wear. I thought I was gonna wear these and keep them myself. I have my pair of all white Yeezy 350s. I think those came out a couple years ago, and I've just been beating them up ever since. They're just like my beaters now. I wear them whenever to go out, run errands, do whatever. They're pretty beat. So I thought, yo, maybe I want another pair of white-ish Yeezys in the collection. But then I'll talk a little bit later after we pull them out about what I kind of decided, why I'm just deciding to not keep them for my own personal wear and gonna be basically reselling them, even though that wasn't the intention from the get-go. But Yeezy 350 box, as you guys are all pretty familiar with by now. There's the tag, Yeezy 350 V2. And as you can see, we got a size 10. And after I pull these out, I am gonna talk, I know I always mention the sizing quickly at the beginning of the on feet section, but I'm gonna mention sizing quickly here, just kind of double down on it because I do want to mention a couple things. So once again, we do have that infinity lacing system, so we do get an extra set of those rope laces, as you can see right there. So here they are, the Yeezy 350 V2 in the natural colorway. Give you guys a quick once over as per usual. And I'll show you that infinity lacing system, of course. But I want to talk quickly about why I kind of just ended up coming to the conclusion I didn't want to keep these for the personal collection. First thing being is I also already have a few other pairs of all white shoes, a couple other pairs of non-Yeezys that are also all white shoes that I wear for different occasions. So one, I didn't really need another white shoe. Now obviously, as you guys may know and can kind of tell, this isn't a completely all white shoe. We do have kind of that natural color, I guess they're calling it, but almost like a tannish, off-whitish color woven in. You can kind of see the paneling here, but even on the other side, you guys can kind of see it's woven in there, which I think actually makes this shoe pretty unique, and I like it. A lot of the lighter mute colors, as you guys probably know, for those of you who have been around my channel for a little bit, I don't really wear a whole lot of like all black type shoes anymore, all like dark colors anymore. I like really light colors. And then the classic 350 feature those ankle cushions, which are always really nice, those ankle pillows. Now, yeah, that's part of the reason why I came to not keeping these. It's just I have a bunch of other all white shoes. But on top of that, as I looked at them more and more, in pictures before they came out, I thought they looked kind of dope. I don't know, as I look at more and more and I sit around, I'm not sure I'm actually a huge fan of the outsole, that yellow, purposely made yellow tinted-ish outsole. And the only thing with this is, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It could entirely just be me. I know a lot of people love this colorway of the shoe. But if you remember, they also came out with the carbons, which was essentially a black-ish version of this. Upper was the similar pattern, just with slightly different colors, obviously black instead of white as the base. And it also had this yellow outsole, and I think it worked well in the carbons because, right, dark upper, lightish color outsole, and it really looked like it was meant to be there. To be honest, this, to me at least, doesn't look like it was meant to be there. It looks like this is kind of like a shoe that's been sitting in a box for a couple years and it aged and yellowed. And maybe that was the intention from the start, but I'm not really a huge fan of that look. It's not a huge problem, but I'm not a huge fan of it either. And the other thing is, this view, the bottom, this is, for those of you who own like old 350s, like the all white ones that I beat up that have an outsole after a while, that's kind of how they look. Like after they've been beat up, after they've been worn out a lot. Of course, you get like, those of you who own Yeezys, you know, they're like darker portions as well. They kind of just like get all disgusting on the bottom, but that's kind of how they look. And so maybe it's just because I own those Yeezys and it just makes me think of that, but I just can't really get over this outsole as much as I think the upper is nice. And I like the infinity lacing, I mention that every time. I just can't get over this outsole. I always like to show you guys the tag there as well. But let me know in the comments below if you ended up picking these up. From what I understand, these are relatively easy to get. Let me know if you ended up picking them up, if you like them at all or not. And the other last thing that kind of made me pause on whether or not to keep these is a lot of people got them, even some of my friends who aren't really in the shoe game like that. And I really just didn't want to be wearing the exact same thing as several of my friends, to be honest. And on top of that, you know, it's nice to, you know, not wear them, and you know, I get a little bit of return on my investment per se, even though that wasn't the original idea. Now to talk about sizing real quick, as there really isn't too much more to show you as far as the actual shoe goes, but to talk about sizing real quick. So as you guys saw, I got a size 10, and the all white 350s that I owned from a couple years ago, those are a 10 and a half. I went a half size up. Now I got a 10 this time, one, because I'm sure as some of you may know and I've been hearing, is that now with the newer 350s, they've kind of like fixed the sizing a little bit, so you don't really have to go a half size up anymore. And I don't know, some people are saying that's the case for all the Yeezys, some people are saying it's just for the 350s. From my personal experience, at least from what I've encountered so far, I've got to have in hand and try them on, the 350s definitely you can go true to size now, is my personal opinion. On these, I recommend going true to size. But those who are saying that all the Yeezys you should go a half size up, I personally just disagree. I recently did, of course, my video on the 700 V3 Clay Browns, which I thought still you should go a half size up in. Obviously different construction than the 350s, but for those who may be wondering, I definitely think if you're buying a newer Yeezy, like a V2 especially, most of the time your probably best bet is to go true to size. However, the V1s, I probably would just recommend going a half size up. So I just want to make that clarity because I don't always talk too much on sizing. I kind of just post on the on feet section what I think you should do. Half size up, true to size, go a half size down. But I just wanted to add a little bit of context there for those who may be a little confused about the sizing, because technically they're all Yeezy 350s, but there's a disparity in kind of the newer ones and the older ones. So I just wanted to mention that quickly. A lot of you like when I pull out the black light. The only reason why I don't pull it out all the time is because there's not always like cool things to show with the black light, but I guess for those of you who really like the black light, I can kind of just show like the stitching kind of lights up. And for those of you who are trying to authenticate whether or not yours are real, I guess this could maybe help you out a little bit. These are 100% legit. I got them straight off adidas, so I guess if that helps for those who wanted the extra black light, I threw that in as well. Also, we're not gonna see a holder cell in this particular video. We're just gonna see the on feet right after this. And that's because I'm choosing just to break it up this time because these shoes have been out for a little bit. Usually I make a video on the shoe right after I get them in as soon as possible. But due to the fact that it's already been a little bit, I thought I'd make a review and on feet. Review them, give you guys my personal opinion, give you my experience as I talked about how I decided not to keep them. And then also, of course, show them on feet, see how they look on feet with socks on, standing in them, right, which looks a little bit different when you have someone actually in the shoes. Because they've been out for a few weeks, I do think there are some other things I can add to the holder cell section that's a little bit different than the usual. So I am excited to kind of try that out. And of course, you guys let me know if you like this. That's about it for the review section. Again, there's tons of videos out on these already. Not the most limited Yeezy out there, but straight off of the Adidas app. And we'll get right into the on feet section. And of course, I'll pop up that sizing as per usual. But for now, guys, Yeezy TV signing off.